Welcome to the Everyday Leader podcast, where conversations inspire action, growth, and impact. Hosted by two passionate leaders, Shannon and Conrad, this podcast is for those who strive to lead with purpose and integrity in their life. Whether you're navigating big decisions, seeking balance, or dreaming of creating change, we're here to help explore the tools, stories, and insights that help everyday leaders thrive. Join us each episode as we dive into the art of leadership at work, at home, and in the world. Because leadership isn't a title, it's a way of being.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Everyday Leader, the podcast. Shannon here with Conrad, and we're going to build on this theme of energy that we've been covering over the last couple episodes.
Yeah, and if you haven't taken a listen or peek at those, we invite you to, and you're right where you need to be. If not, we have talked about and shared around creating from within, the energy of the source of us. We've talked about creating with other or creating with, and what it's like to blend energies with another person. And today we're going to zoom out to the next level.
Yeah. Yes. And we are going to talk about something that you might have heard about, or maybe you practice. And there's lots of different words for this, right? Situational awareness is one. Conrad just shared with me earlier, spatial orientation. I like to call it reading the room or reading the energy in the room. What are some other things that we call this? What we're about to talk about?
Those are feeling the vibe. I've heard it called that, or knowing the vibe in the space, tuning in to the meta of what's going on, the meta view or meta energy in the room. So no matter what it's called, those are some. It's a really important place to look as a leader when you are creating something, or when you're in space, or well, you're always in space, but when you are shaping a space for a meeting, presentation, dinner with family, an event, it's a good place to take a peek at.
Yes. And I have an example I want to offer here, Conrad, and then maybe we can break it down a little bit. I was in a meeting recently, a local government meeting recently with city representatives and city council representatives and community representatives. And this is the first time that I've ever sat in a meeting like this before. And the topic was on housing. And I'm there trying to take all these notes and trying to understand, and really found that I was in the particles of the meeting. Like who was there? What were they saying? Kind of what were we talking about? Really in the particles. And what I noticed is that as soon as I kind of let go of that and stopped taking all of my notes and kind of getting into my head about it and stepped back from that, I was able to actually understand a lot more about what was going on and what this meeting was really about, and the impact that it was generating as a result of that kind of zooming out. You use those words, like zooming out.
Yeah, great awareness and noticing to invite yourself to a different attunement or attention. And I really appreciate this example. There's an expression, there's always something happening when something's happening, or when something else is happening. And you're speaking to the particles or the data that's coming through. That's one thing that's happening. And while that's happening, I hear you saying there's other dynamics of what's really happening in the energy, the space, the environment.
Yeah. So how do you teach the people you work with about that?
Well, it's It's a good question, and it makes me think back to my military training where it was called situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And that situational awareness was uh, based on the context or the what was going on in that particular mission. And
Mm-hmm.
so the way I like to offer to start this conversation is knowing what's happening within you, like having yourself grounded, knowing that, and then looking at things more broadly. And that includes the people that you're with, the mission that you have, the purpose that you have, and then all the space in between. It's really it's an exercise and practice that I invite clients into in their leadership competency and growth to say, as an example, look outside and what do you see? And of course, depending on where they are, it may be in a city or in a natural environment, and they start sharing all the things they see, which is great. That's one thing that's out there. And then I say, what's in between all that?
Mm.
And all that does is start to attune your focus to the spaces in between things. So, for example, if there's a tree there, what's in between that tree and that lamppost?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's air, or so it broadens out the conversation. And then it's like, what's the relationship between the lamppost and the tree? It sounds um, important. It sounds like the imagination piece and metaphor piece we talked about. And this is another way to start tuning in to the broader energy in the space.
Yeah, when I think about that in the context of this meeting, what comes to mind is not just what's being said, but what is not being said.
Mm,
And
mm,
like this, like even this question of like what's in the air,
hmm
right?
Yeah, and in the military context, going back to that, it was mitigating risk, looking for threats, those type of things. The more situational awareness you have on an aircraft or in on an airfield, uh, the more prepared you can be. That was the context of the reason there, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that applies the same thing whether you're preparing for a holiday meal with your family or a meeting with a team. It allows you to have a greater capacity for nimbleness, preparation, and to be able to, as you said, what's not being said, right? What's not
Mm-hmm.
being said, what needs to be said if in the space.
Yeah, so it's like there's a way to be able to use this to understand what's going on, or
Mm,
to be able to understand maybe I guess a lot of what came from this meeting was, oh, there's a lot happening here underneath all of this that I don't exactly understand. Like I could just tell, right? I felt like there was some staleness, some like holding back. It was a
hmm
little sterile, maybe I could
hmm
say. Like that's what I sensed. But I like where you're taking us right now, and that is in how as leaders we can um, use this in thinking about how we create or co-create something
Yeah,
or
yeah. I think
prepare for something.
it's a both and, Shannon. I love where you're looking with the meeting. It's a great example to understand what is really happening or not happening in the energy or in the space. That's step one, is to tune in.
Mm-hmm.
And then step two is from that information, be at choice and follow an urge to create, shift, act,
Mm-hmm.
or stay in that curious place and collect more information. So
Yeah.
it broadens out to say, okay, step one, what's happening in the broader field, the broader space, the this meeting at dinner. Now I have more information than just what's coming out audibly or what I can literally see.
Yeah. Okay. Can we pull this into, I can't resist. I want to pull
Sure.
this into how we would apply this in preparing for Thanksgiving because it's coming up here in the US and it's a big holiday. It's a big holiday for families. It's usually a topic with clients.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what comes up for you when we're talking about the like situational awareness and using that in sort of spatial orientation and the space and the energy of a space to actually proactively create or co-create
Yeah. Well,
Thanksgiving?
I'm offering this to me, you, all of us, because um, I'd say the first, uh, before you get there, wherever there is to do your work and become present and connect to what really matters about the event. That is always a place to come from and orient to. So that's like before you go, do that.
Yeah, well,
What's
and
important? Go
okay,
ahead. Yeah.
I have to interrupt you because I have to say, like, in contrast to that approach, usually it's like, what's on the menu and who's going to bring it? Like, that's where I think most of us start,
Good.
right?
Yeah.
Like when we
Right.
start with getting ready for Thanksgiving, we're like, what's on the menu and who's going to bring it?
Yep.
Particles, right? Like what you and I would call
Who's coming?
particles.
Who's coming? What time? You know what to wear. All those
The
things. Right.
logistics.
The
Yes.
logistics.
Logistics lead,
Yeah.
usually.
So soften the logistics, connect with what's important about the event, what's meaningful for you. That's the work to do before. And then when you find yourself in that space, this is the time to be curious and look at the broader. I don't know, Shannon. This is interesting because I think I'm connecting. I'm like got some things conflated with my own Thanksgiving experiences. But it's a really good place to look. Is that what would you say as far as you're in the Thanksgiving event or you're in the now what?
Yeah, I think, well, I even think even before that, right? It's acknowledge what do you have control over and what do you not have
Mm,
control over and be really
mm,
clear about that, right?
mm-hmm.
Like Thanksgiving is not a time where you are going to, you know, miraculously change the political opinions of your great uncle or the thing that you've always wanted from your family in terms of the type of relationship you want from them is going to suddenly like shift and emerge. So there's
Yeah.
something about, what do you have control over? What don't you have control over? And then what is important to you and what's important to you in the energy that you want to bring. Because
Hmm.
if you can be clear in the energy that you want to bring, then you can be a part of co creating that with people, whether they're
Yes.
aware of it or not, right?
Yes.
You can
Good.
move with and
Good.
create from whatever shows up in that Thanksgiving experience and whatever that day is or looks like, in a way that's really intentional.
Yeah. That's good. So be the energy that you want in the space, have that as a come from, and also soften and let go of the things that are beyond your impact or control at that time.
Yeah. And resource yourself in advance, right?
Mm,
I think, especially for
mm,
people who might find being around family at this time of year or friends or whoever you're surrounded with at this time of year, um, to take the time to resource yourself in advance so that you've gotten good sleep and you feel, rested and ready and easeful going into
yeah.
the situation. And if you are someone who has an amazing group of people and you already have designed exactly what you want, and what you need for Thanksgiving, then that's there too for you to also make sure that you're resourced for that.
Hmm.
Because these types of events and like gatherings and being with other people are a time to build energy, but it also takes some as well.
Yeah. Yep. Dynamic. Just dynamic.
It's dynamic. All right. So
All
where does
right.
this land us, Conrad?
I appreciate the journey that we took, and the things that I am curious about for our listeners is what it would be like today, tomorrow, the next event, to pause within and check out what else is going on in between the people, the space, the room, the environment, and notice that first, and then connect with what you want it to be,
Hmm.
and know whether to act or do something or wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Pay attention.
Yeah. So let us know what that's like in your version. Always a gift to get your feedback. And yeah, until next time, be well, lead well, and happy holidays. We'll be back, but like where it's always, there's a holiday that always is happening. So celebrate whatever that is for you.
All right. Be well.